The Kings are gonna they're gonna make a run, and then they're gonna win the entire Western Conference Finals and lose to the Nets in the finals. Is what's gonna happen. Shouts out to Sack.
Should I put some money? Should I put some money on that?
Hell no.
Dude, what is going on, everybody? This is John with my boy Lee, and this is another installment, episode 17 of the
What up? What up?
Talked About It Anyway podcast. Lee, how are you doing, man?
I am good, John. How are you today, man? On this on another faithful Sunday.
I am doing just swell, man. Just swell. Just swell, dude. Can you believe we're 17 episodes deep, man?
Yeah, bro. It's been fun. We have a podcast.
Dude.
We're still trying to figure this shit out.
Dude.
Shouts out to all the people that watch our clips on TikTok.
Dude, shout out to any level of love, man. You take all the support you can get, especially early on.
Yeah.
We out here, man. We out here just living. But I'm glad people are enjoying it, man.
Mm-hmm. Christmas is upon us. It is the season. It hasn't snowed here yet, so it's like it doesn't feel too Christmassy yet. Does it snow in Seattle, or is it just rainy?
It snows. Okay. I've been here a few years, and I think every winter it has snowed. But it doesn't snow in December. It's like January, February.
Yeah.
We really get our snow.
Yeah. Same lately. Sometimes here it might snow in December, but I feel like a good chunk of it comes late, February, March. I hate it when it gets into March and April because you want it to be spring already, but then it snows and you're like, bruh, why?
Dude, here in Seattle, it just rains, dude. We don't even
it's forever rainy there, I feel.
We don't even get spring.
It's just rain. Is it just rain, summer rain?
Okay, so it goes rain, a little bit of spring, then rain summer, the next few months, rain some more through fall. And it's winter, and then it's just rain. Oh look, it snowed.
Oh,
cold for a few weeks. Then rain, and then it's back in the same cycle. And then then they stay on that bullshit. So,
man, but yeah, okay. You know what I like about the Christmas season?
What do you like about the Christmas season?
Is all the NBA games,
dude,
that they have on Christmas Day. Those are always fun,
dude.
How is it? How's it going so far? We haven't done an NBA episode in a while, so we could talk about it.
Do we want to talk about it?
There's the Clippers beat the Lakers.
Dude, that's been the highlight, dude. It's been the highlight of the season, man.
We're 8th right now, as when we're recording this on freaking December 5th.
The Clippers right there at 5th, at the exact same record.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Can you explain it to me again? So, the Clippers are 12-12. The Mavs are 11-11, and Nuggets are 11-11. But the Lakers are 12-12, but they're the 8th seed. Is that because they lost to the Mavs and the Nuggets? That's why they're on the 8th seed.
So, I think there's a number of factors that go into it. I think for right now, it's just the head matchups. So I think the Lakers could easily have been 5th if they would have beat the Clippers, and then been 12-12. But I think ultimately it's just the head-to-head matchups. The Clipper, I don't think the Clippers have played the Nuggets this season. So
they haven't played them yet. Interesting.
No. So it's I think it goes off, and then I think it goes off of conference wins, and technically the Clippers have 9 wins. Compared to Denver's 6.
Oh man!
So there's a lot that goes into it, but dude, it is not looking good for either of our teams, man.
Yeesh.
Let's start at the top though. Let's start at the top of the Western
Warriors.
Conference.
Warriors are killing it.
Warriors and Suns are on a whole nother level.
I enjoyed watching them play. When the Warriors. So the Suns beat the Warriors in Phoenix, and then Warriors beat the Suns in Golden State.
Right.
It was low-key kind of playoff vibes ish, but
I like as close as you can get to playoff vibes in
really early.
This early in the season.
Yeah, but there's definitely like some tension there. I like how Utah's been playing though.
Dude, Utah's been playing really solid,
Mm-hmm.
but like they've always been a regular season team.
Is Donovan Mitchell in like MVP candidate talk?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Utah's a more. I feel like Utah's a more complete team, but you're not really seeing like you're seeing Steph Curry get MVP talk, but you're not seeing many Suns get MVP talk. And even your boy Devin Booker, who you chose as your pick to win the MVP this year,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
getting
It's gonna
MVP
happen.
talk.
He got injured though on the when they played
Yeah.
in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
He like messed up his quad hurt or something.
Did he
but
play?
They had
against
a
the
really
Warriors?
good. He did.
The second
He
time?
did. No, I don't think so. I don't remember.
So you're saying they
Or-
beat the Warriors beat the Suns without the Suns' best player?
Yes. Yes, but the it was a more impressive win for the Suns because they beat the Warriors
Yeah.
in Phoenix without Devin Booker, so like they rallied over that. But it's still early, man. I mean, the Warriors still don't have Clay back yet, so it's gonna be like a whole different thing once like the Splash Bros come back.
I mean, but there's still a lot of guys that are out that could change the complexity
gonna
of the
say-
Western Conference.
So when
Like-
if Kawhi comes back to your Clippers, where do you envision them?
Dude, do you know who won, man? No. Who
Yeah,
won
like
seed.
really?
No. I think if we're being completely realistic,
Mm-hmm.
he probably won't come back in time to really make an effect on the regular season standings.
Mm.
So wherever the Clippers finish during the regular season will most likely be where they finish up.
Mhm.
You know, it'll be like what happens in the postseason. Like, how does that look like? Like, if the Clippers can make it into like a top 4 seed, and get home court advantage in the first round, like that'll do a lot. But I mean, they're 12-12 right now, and they have not looked good. Like, Paul George looks amazing, or I shouldn't even say amazing. Paul George looks like an all-star.
Yep.
But like no one else is really contributing. Like, you get a good game from Reggie Jackson like every like 4th game.
Mm.
Marcus Morris has been super inconsistent, although like the last couple of games he's been pretty solid.
He hit a big three to ice it against the Lakers.
He did. So did
Yeah.
Luke Kennard.
Mm. Yeah, shouts out Luke Kennard. He was balling out that game.
Dude, shout out to Luke. Dude, he's actually having a really good season.
Yeah.
He's actually having a really good season this year. I think he's like 3rd in the team in points.
Mm.
Like, he's at. I mean, granted, he's averaging like 10 and a half points a game. But so it's like it's just one of those things where it's like it kind of sucks right now because like it feels like the team, like Paul George has to do everything on offense, and
Yeah. It was like really carrying the team on his back.
yeah, dude, and it's like we haven't had Nicholas Batum for most of the season. Eric Bledsoe, who was like one of our bigger acquisitions, has been a little bit of a disappointment. But like, I mean, I just, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know how good the team's gonna look. Like, I couldn't tell you of an instance where I think the team could get better. Like, there's no, I don't think there's like a magical trade that the Clippers can do to get better. I don't think there's like a player outside of Kawhi, but like you can't really, you don't want to count on Kawhi coming back this year. Like, this is going to be the team for pretty much this whole season. So you're kind of like hoping that they can like turn on a magical switch and like get better. I mean, but like I said, Paul George has been really solid this year. Reggie Jackson, like when he's playing, like when he's good, like when he's on, he's on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's inconsistent, and like that's the thing about the Clippers all season is they've just been a really inconsistent team. And it's not even on the defensive end. Their defensive numbers are actually, I think the defensive numbers look really pretty good, all things considered. It's on the offense where they're really struggling. Like they're not shooting the 3 ball nearly as well as they did last season. They're not.
It's just been like Paul George ISOs.
Unfortunately, but that's like the only thing that's been working for a good stretch of the season. Like, like to be completely frank, like this team is not playing like a playoff team. Like they're just playing like they're just kind of going through the motions. So it's like, and it's not like it's not like with the Lakers where like the Lakers are struggling, but you've got 3 all-stars that you can be like, they'll turn it around. Like we've got Paul George, and that's it. And we got a bunch of depth. Or you hope that they have a bunch of depth. That it's not really panning out. Like our center rotation's been pretty solid with Ivica Zubac and Isaiah Hartenstein, but like,
where's is Ibaka playing the 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Ibaka's been slow to get back from injury. Like he's been playing, but like not like
fully.
So it's just been like it's just a struggle.
Mm.
And like you trust a guy like Ty Lue to fix it and figure it out, but I mean, it might just be one of those things where it's like it's not gonna happen this season. And I guess that's.
So even if Kawhi comes back in the playoffs, you don't think they'll click? If Kawhi comes back, it'll still they'll need more time to figure it out if Kawhi comes back because they played without him for so long.
I think it's gonna be the same thing with Denver. Like when Jamal Murray comes back, like there's gonna be a moment where like the first 2-3 weeks where you're trying to acclimate an all-star caliber player onto the team. And then you're just out there like struggling. Like I think the Warriors will struggle a little bit, at least a little bit, when Klay Thompson finally comes back and is ready to play. Just trying to figure out what the rotation looks like because Jordan Poole's playing amazing.
Yeah.
Gary Payton Jr. has been playing really solid. Jonathan Kuminga's been giving them pretty solid minutes.
Are Kawhi, Murray, and Klay all projected to come back this year? At some point.
Well, I think Klay Thompson's supposed to come back Christmas Day.
Christmas? Okay. Then what about Murray and Kawhi?
Jamal Murray and Kawhi, they're March, April.
Okay.
Timelines.
Damn.
So it's March and April when they're supposed to come back. And at that point, you're pretty much almost at the playoffs right there. So it's
damn.
So it's you almost need to almost secure your spot in the playoffs to feel comfortable about just reintegrating them. And I mean, looking at the standings now, I mean, they're in a 4-way tie for 5th with Dallas and the Lakers. Minnesota's only a half game behind them, and then Portland's a half game behind Minnesota. And then the Kings are...
Yeah.
And then you have the Kings that are right there, you have the Spurs that are right there. So, you have 12 teams, within... What, 3.5
striking
games?
Distance.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You have. Yeah, dude. You have 8 teams for 6 spots right now, and they're all within.
Yeah, after
4 games.
After the Jazz, it's kind of it's all it could go anywhere.
Oh yeah, literally after the Jazz, because Memphis is
Grizzlies all the way down to the Spurs.
Yeah. I
don't know so much about the Spurs though, but fuck, they beat the Warriors yesterday.
Beat the Warriors.
So. Okay, so question for you. Out of those 3 teams that we mentioned, Nuggets, Jamal Murray, Clippers, Kawhi, then Warriors, Klay, which of those guys do you think their team needs them more? I guess all of them they need them more, but right now, which one do you think damn, they could really use that guy to come back in right now?
My answer is going to be Jamal Murray, but I have Jamal Murray and Kawhi on equal footing on that front. But my answer is going to be Jamal Murray, because Michael Porter Jr. is out for the year with.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, with a back injury.
Interesting.
So it's really just Nikola Jokic and
Okay.
Monte Morris and dudes.
Nikola Jokic and dudes.
Yeah, literally, it's Nikola Jokic and dudes, and then you have so like they would be better off having Jamal Murray come back.
Yeah.
And giving them that second that genuine second option.
That in the bubble when he did the it was like in his right, then he kind of like went under to his left. That shit was so hard.
Dude.
Yeah, Jamal Murray was balling out that game.
But yeah, I think the Warriors. I think the Warriors need Klay Thompson less than Kawhi. Than the Clippers need Kawhi, or the Nuggets need Jamal Murray. I mean, because look, they're like firing on all cylinders, and you know Steph Curry's probably going to be MVP if he keeps it up.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like out of all those teams, I feel like it's gonna be. I think Klay's gonna be the one that it's just gonna be like perfect puzzle. Like they'll figure it out how to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be too much tension of like how are you gonna figure it out. But I feel like with the Clippers and whatchamacallit, the Clippers and even like the Nuggets when Kawhi or Jamal Murray comes back, I feel like there might be like that period of like what rotations are going to be like, how are we going to play with each other, because it's still kind of new-ish.
Right.
Do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Are there a bunch of new guys in the Clippers for the most part? Not really. They got most of their guys from last year back, so I guess they at least have some kind of chemistry with each other.
Yeah, they have continuity, but then it's like you have Eric Bledsoe instead of Pat Bev, which I
But
don't
he
know.
played with the Clippers before though. But with I don't think
Yeah,
he's
but that
ever
was
played with any of those guys.
not
though.
with any of these guys.
Mhm.
They have 3 rookies on the roster,
Mhm.
so like they're getting some play. Brandon Boston is looking like a dude.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like it's relative. The guys that are getting legit minutes. That's like all the guys that were there last season, and all of the guys that went on that playoff run that almost beat. If they call the foul on DeAndre Ayton off the lob in Game 1, like they should have.
Oh damn,
That
salty.
just a little bit. That game that probably goes 7. That series probably goes 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then you never know what happens in a Game 7. And then then it's the NBA. And then if they win that one game, it's NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So it's like it's relatively the same roster that went on that run. But I don't know. I don't know if it's.
I'm
I don't know
really
if they're
happy
tired.
for the Suns though.
Yeah, dude,
Like they haven't really changed anything, and they're still dominant. Like that's
they
good.
were really good last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were really good last year. I mean, you're a Laker fan. You saw that series.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul's still smart enough. I feel like he's around. He's finally like around a group of guys that are like all like they just fit Chris Paul so well. You know.
Yeah, I will say like those Lob City teams probably weren't the best use of Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Do you think there were tension there between? It was kind of like a star tension between him and Blake.
I mean,
think?
I'm sure there was.
Because I feel like on the Suns team, they're all like, "All right, Chris, whatever you say, you're our dude that we're following you." You know what I'm saying?
I would argue that the Clippers should have looked to trade Blake Griffin while they still
Earlier.
earlier while they still had Chris Paul for like a wing player, like a solid like small forward that can actually score
Interesting.
to help, or like a 2 guard that can play, both sides of the ball.
When like after they blew the lead, their 3-1 lead
After
from
they
Houston?
after they blew the 3-1 lead from Houston, they should have looked to
traded
trade.
for Blake.
They should have looked to try to find a trade for Blake Griffin. But it's hard because it's Blake Griffin's an all-star.
Yeah, and he's like the face of the Clippers
Yeah.
still.
At that point,
Like, at that point.
him and Chris Paul were both faces.
Yeah,
But I just think like when you look at how how those Clippers teams played, those teams played really good without either guy in the lineup. Because it's a matter of like who has the ball more.
yeah,
Like Blake Griffin, like probably could have, if Blake Griffin like didn't have Chris Paul, he probably would have at some point been one of the best point forwards in the game. And then when Blake Griffin's not there, Chris Paul can lead the offense however he's fit.
yeah,
Like there were stretches and I think it was like either 2016 or 2017 where Blake Griffin was out for a while because of injury, and Chris Paul led the Clippers to like 10 wins, like 9-10 game winning streaks. Like
yeah.
it was insane. Like with him and like DeAndre Jordan just manning the middle, and then just using like bodies to space the floor out. Like it was a really good ran offense. Although I blame Doc Rivers more than I blame the players, but that's just me. But enough about my Clippers. What do you think about your Lakers? What do you think about how the Lakers are doing right now?
I think it's just been rough of just trying to figure it out. There's like what kind of rotations are they doing? I don't know if Westbrook is like the best fit, you know what I'm saying? Or like if they're able to, I don't know. It's just they just haven't figured it out, man. It's weird. I'm happy at least we're like in the playoff conversation, but like we're 8th right now, and I feel like we're dangling on to like a playoff spot.
Let me ask.
So
it's been
kind of scary.
You mentioned, you just mentioned how like you're not sure if Russell Westbrook was like the best fit for this Lakers squad. if you can go back in time, do you do the Buddy Hield trade instead of the Russell Westbrook trade?
Yeah, like I think when I listen to like other like analysts talk about it, like that's what they say, where it's like they kind of just like keep.
So, like, then I have to ask you, would you have to, like, if you can go back in time, like, would you do the Buddy Hield trade, or would you still do the Russell Westbrook trade?
I guess I don't. It's still like I don't. Is it still too early? I think like right now, since like they're struggling, you're like in hindsight, you're like, oh, you should have just traded for Buddy Hield. You needed shooting and a good defensive wing. He would have fit in perfect with what they have going on. But I don't know, man. It's still so much talent, and like I feel like they could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter how it works out, whether like if Russell Westbrook's not going to be like a knockdown 3-point shooter. I think he's still going to be very much like as much athleticism as he still has right now to be like that kind of explosive guy and like kind of get the engine going for the team.
Right.
I don't know how they'll figure it out, and I really hope I don't. If it's All-Star break after All-Star break, and we talk about this, and I'm all like, man, I hope the Lakers figure it out. They haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how though. Like, are we gonna do like Melo gonna be 6 man or like have him start? Then I think
do you have Melo as your 6 man right now?
I haven't watched too much. Like, I don't know if because I know they've been playing with the rotations. Sometimes Melo starts, sometimes Melo comes off the bench. So I don't know if he's consistent enough coming off the bench that we could say he'd be 6 man. But that's what I'm saying though, is like they need to figure out the roles of like, okay, Melo's gonna come off the bench. These are the guys that are gonna be the starting five. You know what I'm saying? So like where they could really get their rotations down. So I think they're still like experimenting with it, but I feel like the season is coming along where it's like the experimenting part should have been over by now, you know?
Mm-hmm. I get that. Who has been the most pleasant surprise on the Lakers so far?
I like Malik Monk. Or you know what? I like Horton a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he played good not yesterday, but like he played good last year.
You got paid, but
yeah. I like Horton. Horton's like a solid rookie. Or a sophomore now.
Yeah, and is he even a sophomore?
Something. I feel like I thought he was a rookie last year, something like that. But yeah, I like Horton. Then Kendrick Nunn has been like in and out, right? Like he hasn't fully come back yet.
Kendrick Nunn's been like in and out. I think he came back. He came back recently, right?
Something like that. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, they got freaking LeBron and Anthony Davis, man. At least just go from there. We'll figure it out. And we still got playoff Rondo still. So hopefully when playoffs come, Rondo makes something happen.
That's true. That is true. This is year 3 for Horton Tucker, by the way.
Year 3? Okay.
Yeah. So he was a Laker, and he was on the bubble team.
Yep. Was that okay? So the bubble team was his rookie year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I liked him. I like Horton Tucker.
Nice. But okay, if there's one player you could get on the Lakers right now, who would it be?
If we could get someone to go to the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Let's get Damian Lillard, man. That would be tight.
You think that's the answer?
No, I think it'll just be like another weird version of like trying to figure out him and Westbrook. But I think Lillard's more of a consistent shooter, especially like 3-point shooter. I think that would be better than Westbrook in terms of, I guess, like 3-point shooting.
I will tell you,
but I don't know if that will fix all of their problems though.
Yeah, I will tell you, I think Klay Thompson would be a better pickup for the Lakers than a Damian Lillard.
Just get like another wing guy. Like you don't have to like worry about the point, but like just have like another good wing.
Yeah, because LeBron can
kick
play
it out.
Point.
Yeah, I think honestly that's never gonna happen, but that would be a good pick. His dad played for the Lakers. He won championships with Magic. Michael Thompson,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Michael Thompson.
Shout out to Michael Thompson, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, one thing I'm noticing though is the Western Conference does not look nearly as good as the Eastern Conference right now.
I was gonna say
Like the West Coast is very, very top heavy. Because you've got three of the top 4 teams in the league in the West, and then there's just like this huge drop. Whereas like in the Eastern Conference, if you look at it, like there's so much parity in the East.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like if our Clippers and Lakers were in the East right now with the 12-12 record, they'd be what? They'd be like where the Knicks and the Hawks are.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
They would be 11th right now.
Oh man, damn. So is it too early to say that the Eastern Conference is better than the Western Conference now?
I think I think it might be too early, but if you're looking at this, it does not look good. If you're trying to do a comparison like that. But like, dude, the East is just so stacked, man. And there's like teams that are doing better than you thought they were going to. Like
the East has good teams now. Like before, like you would just back in like Warrior Cleveland times, you just cared about Cleveland and you really didn't give a shit about the East.
Yeah.
But now like the Nets are good. The Bulls are very like I was surprised. I think when we first started this, we thought the Bulls would be like 4th, 5th, 6th, but I mean the Bulls and the Cavs being in there are very surprising.
I mean, it's still early. The Bulls could still easily fall down to 5th, 6th. Because they're only like 2.5 games ahead of Cleveland. And I didn't think Cleveland was going to be I didn't think Cleveland was going to be as good as they are. I didn't think Washington was going to be as good as it is. I didn't think Philly was going to struggle as much as they have without Ben Simmons.
Yeah, the same with the Hawks and the Knicks.
Yeah, dude, they're both struggling. But like it's so close. Like if you're looking at these standings, like there's only 5 games. There's only 4 games that separate the Hawks at 10 from the Nets at 1. Where like if I were to go into the Western Conference and look at that, the Blazers are 8.5 back. So it's like
it is close. It is close.
It is super close. And I feel like you can pencil in like in the Western Conference, like you can pencil in the top 3 easily for like the top 3 spots at this point.
Like they're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, like they might like move around within like the 3. But it's just those 3, like those 3, like but like looking at the East, like anyone can move up there.
Yeah, I mean, would you still count out Toronto and Indiana?
No,
I feel like I wouldn't count them out, right? Like they could still like make a little run to get the 8th seed or like go into the play-in.
I mean, they're only 4. Like Toronto is only 2 games back, so like that's way too close to like really count them out. Pacers are 4 games back, which I mean it's still super early in the season. Like we're only like really like a month and a half, maybe 2 months into the season at this point. And I think the only teams that you can really like count out right now are going to be your Detroit and Orlando in the East, and then in the West it's
Thunder and Rockets, Pelicans too.
Maybe the Pelicans. I don't know what's going on with the Pelicans though.
Yeah, like, me neither. Well, I think I feel like they're just waiting till Zion comes back. Then I don't think Brandon Ingram's like balling out of his mind,
But it's like you can't wait for Zion to come back.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. It's like they're not even thinking about this year anymore. They're just like, all right, let's just try to improve our guys that are here. Like if we're probably not going to make the playoffs. Just they're already like whatever about the season. I feel.
Although they did beat the Mavericks. They did beat the Mavericks on Friday. So, and they did beat my Clippers.
Who I really like though? Well, I really like the Bulls though. First and foremost, I like the Lonzo and Caruso, just like locking people up on D, and then after that, freaking I like how well that DeRozan kind of just like meshed in with all the guys, and Zach LaVine has really made a really good shot. Like he has a solid 3-point shot. I don't really know if he has like that great of a mid range, but he has a good 3-point shot. I like how he improved from like in his Minnesota days where he was like, oh, he's just a really good dunker. So like now he's like a full-fledged, like he's an all-star. Like he's a really good player, like all-around player, I feel. Question for you though. Who do you think has the best mid-range game in the NBA right now? I'm stuck between DeRozan and Chris Paul. I would put Kawhi if Kawhi was like healthy because Kawhi has a solid mid-range, but
I think if Kawhi's healthy, the answer is Kawhi. Now, if we're going off of people who are healthy, that's tough. I mean, because like you said, like DeRozan's like his game is predicated on the mid range. Like that dude does not have.
Yeah, when every time I watch highlights and like DeRozan's like he's getting into his Kobe bag.
Yeah, I mean Chris Paul is really good at the mid range. I mean you can't count out LeBron when you're talking about mid range because LeBron's always been solid in the mid range.
I think I'm gonna get Chris.
Giannis in the mid range has been pretty solid.
But I'd say
Durant.
Chris Middleton has a better mid range game than Giannis.
But Durant has a really good mid range game.
I'd say top mid range guys right now. Chris Paul in no particular order. Chris Paul, DeRozan, Durant. I think you got to put Durant in there. Wait, what did I say? Jeez, Chris Paul, DeRozan, Durant, Middleton. I feel like those four. Who else did you say you thought had a good mid range?
I mean, I thought LeBron had a decent mid range.
Oh, okay.
Luka Doncic's mid range is actually pretty solid.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Doncic's got a good mid range.
He's got a pretty solid one this year.
But I think Chris Paul has the better mid. Oh, okay.
For Cleveland's been really solid in the mid range.
He's the rookie, right? Do you think he's gonna be rookie of the year?
Oh, dude, I hope he is.
I think that's what everyone says. I really haven't watched the Cavs too much, so I can't really make a solid decision there.
I mean, there's they're 13-10 right now.
But yeah, I think Chris Paul got the best mid range though. He's just so crafty there, and then I think it's really impressive the fact that he's 6 feet. And he always kind of has to fade on his mid range to get it over everyone.
But he's always been
he's been doing that. He's really consistent there.
Yeah.
Like solid mid range player. It's really fun to watch.
Like I think if Julius Randle were more consistent, I'd be okay with putting Julius Randle up there. But he's hasn't been consistent.
He's more of like a in the post, like trying to like strength kind of guy, you know?
Right. I think Jimmy Butler's been pretty okay with the mid range, if I'm remembering.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. But he's been kind of in and out this season, right?
He has. But that Heat team's 14-10. Like they would be
good.
Yeah,
they were up there too, or like in the beginning. I think they were 1 at one point.
At some point. But yeah, dude. Okay. So in the East, it's Brooklyn 1, Chicago 2, Milwaukee 3, Washington 4, Miami 5, Cleveland 6, Boston 7th, Charlotte 8th, Philly 9, and Atlanta at 10. Out of those, who do you think is the most surprising team in that list?
The Cavs and the Wizards. We definitely did not expect that.
Yeah, I mean, you had a feeling the Wizards probably could get into like the top 10.
Yeah, but fourth, like Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm more surprised of. I think they're both really surprising because I thought the Cavs would be on the bottom. Because I mean, I guess who Sexton is Sexton playing?
Sexton's out. Like he's out for the year. He got
Darius.
Hurt.
Who's the other dude?
But it's Darius Garland's doing really good.
Then Mobley, like you're saying. Kevin Love's not even playing, but LeVert is having like a breakout year though, right? Like LeVert's having a good year.
LeVert's having a really solid year alongside those guys. But like Jarrett Allen is doing really good at center.
Oh, that's what I meant. Not LeVert. That's what I meant.
Oh, you meant Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, Jarrett Allen. LeVert's not even on. Where's LeVert? LeVert's on the Wizards, right?
Is he a Wizard or is he a Pacer?
I think he's a Pacer. I'm thinking of like the Brooklyn guys that left.
Yeah, he's LeVert's a Pacer.
Paris LeVert. Yeah, no, but I meant Jarrett Allen.
You meant Jarrett Allen.
My man's with the fro.
Yeah, dude. Jarrett Allen's been doing really, dude. That front court of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley is unbelievable. Like it's insane. Like the defensive range that they have is like, oh man, you can't do it.
Has Kevin Love played a minute this season? Is he injured, or is it like a John Wall thing where they're like, we're just not gonna play you?
I don't know. I think it's like a mental health thing.
Interesting.
I mean, here's the question: do you think Kevin Love comes back before Ben Simmons?
Yes. I think I do. I was gonna say, okay, so like, all right, you know how on like the east on the West Coast, we're like, all right, who needs their team more right
Yeah.
now? Is it like Jamal Murray,
And
um,
Kawhi or
Kawhi,
Klay
and Klay
Thompson.
Thompson? Like, who needs their team more? Okay, so on the East Coast, who needs their team more, John? Um, Kevin Love on the Cavs, Ben Simmons in the Sixers, or Kyrie going back to the Nets, or Kyrie like playing for the Nets? Who needs their team? Who does their team need more?
It's Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any other answer. Like, okay, so if you bring Kevin Love back,
Okay.
who's he gonna like? He's not gonna start. You're not gonna start. Are you gonna start Kevin Love over Evan Mobley?
No. I don't
Okay,
think
you're gonna
so.
start Kevin
All
Love
right.
over Jarrett Allen.
It's gonna be him and Rubio bringing back the Minnesota days. Is what's off the bench. Off the bench. Off the bench, though.
Dude, if you can get
Off the
Minnesota, if you
bench.
can get Minnesota Kevin Love, like, man, watch out for those Cavs teams. Um, but no, the answer is Ben Simmons. Like you can tell by how like poor the Sixers have been pretty recently. Like Joel Embiid, like I know Joel Embiid's been kind of hurt and he's been like in and out of the lineup, but like they don't really have like a facilitator. Like they have Tyrese Maxey who's like playing pretty solid, but like yeah, but it's like you can't depend on like in today's league you almost need to have two stars to do well.
Yeah,
Like
I get you.
like okay, we can take the top three teams of. I mean, yeah, you could take a look at the top teams. Like look at Brooklyn. You have James Harden. You have James Harden, Kevin Durant. The Bulls. You've got DeRozan. You've got Zach LaVine.
What do you mean? You mean Caruso and Lonzo?
Oh, sorry. Caruso and Lonzo. How could I forget? And Vucevic. Can't forget about.
Oh man, you know we stay sleeping on Vooch though. Vooch is good.
Yeah,
Vooch
Vuce is
is
really
good.
solid, really solid. But like, and then you have Milwaukee, who has Giannis and Middleton and Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, so like you think about it, like Philly only has Joel Embiid and a bunch of
Yeah.
like other guys. Like Tobias Harris. Tobias
I
Harris
was
isn't
gonna
that
say-
guy. Tobias Harris isn't that guy. He's getting paid like that guy, but he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Like you really, like that team really needs a Ben Simmons to kind of facilitate that offense.
And like that's what made it work last year too.
Yeah,
It was that pass, bro. I saw a thing about Isaiah Thomas where he was telling a story about how there's like one summer where like Isaiah Thomas was like working on his game, and then after that like Magic Johnson was he was there with Magic Johnson, kind of like they're just in the summer working on his game, and the whole summer the only thing that Magic Johnson worked on was his free throws. Like that's all he did was just free throws. And then the next season he was MVP that season because Magic Johnson was never like a shooter, especially for today's standards where everyone's shooting 3-point shots. But 6'9", agile, really similar to like what Ben Simmons is just getting to the rim, getting fouled. And I don't know, I agree with like that analyst or like that analysis of like if Ben Simmons just had a solid free throw shot, he would be way better.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even have to worry about shooting a three. If he just went to the rim like how he goes to the rim, and then if he knocks down all of his free throws, just not a problem. And that's why he passed it up too, right? Because like he thought he didn't want to get fouled to go to the free throw line.
yeah.
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy.
see, the thing is, like, that's the one thing I never like understood about like everyone's critique of Ben Simmons as a like needing to be a fourth quarter guy. He's never been a shot taker. Like he's not a guy that like will like shoot the ball like 20 times a game. So like you can't expect him to like take shots all the time.
Yeah.
And then like at a certain point, like I can get the whole notion of like nerves getting to him in that series. And
Yeah.
he's what 24.
He's a young dude, 24, 25, maybe 26
He's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 25. He's still young. Like he's still like super young. So like to pick on a guy because of to pick on a guy like Ben Simmons because like he has he just got nervous is like not fair to him. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I would not. I would not be surprised to see Ben Simmons not on the Sixers at the end of the season.
Mm.
But you know, but where do you send him? Like, what team do you think would be
I don't know,
the
dude.
best
I
option
really
for
don't.
him?
If he goes to Portland, does that change anything?
I mean,
Like, does that
are you trading
does that
him to?
benefit? Like, just say for him and CJ, straight up, just Ben Simmons to Portland, and then after that, CJ McCollum to the Sixers.
I mean,
I don't know.
are the Trailblazers better at that point? Because, like, I mean, if you think about Ben Simmons, like, he really needs to go to a situation where they need someone that can, like, handle the offense. Because, like, you have Dame in Portland. Like, that guy, that he's gonna run the offense. Like, there's no way around that. Like, I mean, what do you send him to Denver? Have him play alongside Jokic?
No, I don't know. I feel like that's just more. I feel like all those teams need someone that could shoot it.
Okay, well then who's a team that doesn't
don't
have
know.
shooting that could use a Ben Simmons?
Or like they already have shooting.
Or they already
and
have shooting, they just need.
like a facility. I just think of, remember when you're talking about Minnesota, like him going to Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay. So I was reading somewhere.
Man, just bring him to Sac, bro. Just Ben Simmons to Sac and just figure it out.
Dude, for Marvin Bagley and some dudes.
Yeah, Marvin Bagley and dudes.
You run
and then
you run Ben Simmons at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you run Ben Simmons at the 4. You run.
This is their point. Is
still
De'Aaron Fox playing?
Yeah, dude, De'Aaron Fox is playing. But you can run
Okay.
you can run a lineup of what? De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, Davion Mitchell, Ben Simmons, and Rashawn Holmes.
Mm.
And he said he wanted to go to California, so like that gets him to Cali.
Yeah, just bring him to Sac. Yeah, dude, I have no idea. Who do you think still for Ben Simmons that would be a good fit for him to go to?
I mean, I'm trying to get out of like the rumors headspace because there's been a lot of rumors that have come out recently. Like I was reading somewhere that there's been talk of a Simmons for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade
In Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Like it doesn't do anything for Ben Simmons because
Yeah, they're just he'll just be a part of the rebuild of what is Oklahoma.
yeah, I've seen the talks of CJ McCollum going to, I've seen the talks of CJ McCollum going through.
Going to the Sixers.
Yeah, and then I've also seen the trade of what was it? There's a 3-team trade between the Sixers. You good? You
Yeah.
good? Okay. I mean,
I'm good.
I mean, there's that 3-team trade going around not too long ago between Philly, Sacramento, and the Lakers, where Russell Westbrook gets shipped to Philly. The Kings get Ben Simmons, and then De'Aaron Fox ends up a Laker.
What the hell? We're not getting Buddy Hield,
No, you're
but
not getting Buddy Hield.
De'Aaron Fox. I feel like if we get De'Aaron Fox, that's just like a younger Westbrook. Like, is that going to change anything? I feel like that's not going to help us at all. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it could also be this whole thing. Or wait, hold on. It's not Ben Simmons. It's for for the rookie Davion Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
Or like Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield or something like that. Where like Sacramento's giving up a decent chunk, but
I'm cool with getting Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield as a Laker. I feel like that would help us.
yeah. And then you'd give up Westbrook
To go to Philly.
to go to Philly.
I feel like that would be an interesting Westbrook in the East with him and whatchamacallit with Embiid.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of the same thing where you're just getting another dude that doesn't really shoot that well?
But I mean, at least he's playing.
Yeah. At least he'll definitely help. He'll definitely help out. And Westbrook is still a walking triple double still.
Would you give up Davion Mitchell, Buddy Hield, and Harrison Barnes for Ben Simmons?
I'm Sack, dude. I think Sack's always just forever trying to figure it out. So I think whatever works with them, because I don't think they're winning a championship this year with the roster that they have. So if Sack could get a bona fide all star next to De'Aaron Fox, which is has he been an all star yet?
De'Aaron Fox? No.
Yeah. No? Oh damn. But well, like a very potential, like De'Aaron Fox still has a lot of potential. But like having like a full fledged all star going to your team, I think you do it. I mean, Sack's not like trying to win a championship anytime soon, so I think that would help him out.
Yeah. Interesting, dude. All right, and then what do you take of the Hawks, man? What do you think's going on with them?
I think they're nothing has really changed though, right? For them,
they have the same
like
squad.
as far as same thing.
Yeah. They have the same squad. I mean, I will tell you, they're 8-2 in their last 10.
Oh man, I mean, I think I don't know. Maybe just everyone. Do you think it's a case where everyone around them got better? You know what I'm saying? And they just kind of stayed the same.
I think in the East,
because I don't think they got worse. They didn't get worse.
I mean, but they've been playing kind of sloppy. But like, I mean, you figure, Brooklyn. They were going to be better regardless.
Yeah, but I think
Chicago,
the Wizards, Cavs, Chicago too is kind of like a surprise compared to last year.
Yeah, they're only a half game away from Charlotte, who's an 8th, so it's not like they're too bad. But I honestly, like I had the Hawks like 4th or 5th, and
yeah, you had the Hawks up there.
I mean, I think they're a game and a half back right now, but like I don't know. Up until this like recent 10-game stretch, like they did not look good at all. So
yeah, is it just kind of like I mean, Trae Young's still balling out though, right?
Yeah, Trae Young's still balling out. Are you more concerned about the Hawks, or are you more concerned about the Knicks?
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm more concerned about the Knicks. I mean, like I was saying things where like they took Kemba out of the rotation.
Yeah, they took Kemba out of the rotation.
So like that's kind of weird, or I don't know, not weird, but I guess like they need more length on like the defense side of things. But then I would watch like Inside the NBA, and they're like Kenny and Chuck were saying something like, it's just like a weird defensive scheme. Like Kemba could play defense, it's just like the other guys around him, it just doesn't fit well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't followed the Knicks too much, so like I can't really have like a solid like this is what's going on with the Knicks. But I don't know. I like to see them in the playoffs though. I think it's always fun when like the Knicks are in there, especially like they've been out of it for so long. Like it's just fun to see them go back into like the playoff picture, you know?
Right.
But I like seeing like Julius Randle, then RJ Barrett. Then they got a homie from the Celtic, Fournier. Like they got Fournier in there, and it's always good to see D Rose playing again. You know,
shout out to D Rose, man. I think he might end up being 6th man this year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Man, shout out to D Rose.
I mean, are you gonna give it to Jordan Clarkson?
You think? Of course, man. I'm always giving everything Jordan Clarkson. Shouts out. He's the only Filipino in the league right now.
Is he the only Filipino in the league?
Shouts out Jordan Clarkson. But I wouldn't be mad though. I wouldn't be mad if Derrick Rose got it, especially just like the narrative of like where he was into like where he is. You know, at least I'm just happy to see him play.
That's good.
It's not like one of the like a player where like, oh man, I wish he kept. I really like injuries like plagued him to like where he couldn't play anymore. Like that would suck. At least like he's able to like play it out still.
Hold on.
It's kind of like a Grant Hill.
Did you know that Jalen Green is half Filipino?
Yeah, I did. So him and Jordan Clarkson. Shouts out, dude. Jalen Green could like jump through the freaking roof, man. That guy's like crazy.
Dude, he can.
Yeah. No, I'm bringing. You know who I really want to see go into the league is Kai Soto. He's like, I want to say he's like as tall as like Kevin Durant, and that dude he's like from the Philippines. I think he was like around the same class as like Jalen Green or like Kenyon Martin Jr., somewhere like around there. But I hope Kai Soto gets to the league soon. If Kai Soto goes to the league, I think he'll be a bigger phenomenon than Pacquiao, because Filipinos love basketball. It's not even like funny how much we love basketball. So if Kai Soto, he's gonna get to the league, bro. If you could like put like stock on players, I would definitely invest in Kai Soto stock.
You think Kai Soto's gonna reach the league?
I hope so. I mean, he got the potential to do it. Tall dude.
Just because he's tall.
But like he's like tall, then like quick on his feet. He's got a pretty good shot. He played for like the G League. I mean, it's not like he's like he hasn't not played, you know? Like he's played against pretty decent talent. He played for like the Filipino team, like the national team. So yeah, hopefully he'll get there. He got all the skill set for it, man. Quick on his feet. He got a pretty decent shot, got a good size.
Nice.
And he's played against like the guys that are like coming in, like Jalen Green and those guys.
Yeah.
I think him and Jalen Green were on the same G League team last year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
insane.
see. We'll see.
Okay.
That's how Filipinos in the league.
Okay. Okay, so right now, the Kings, Spurs, Pelicans, Rockets, Thunder, Knicks, Raptors, Pacers, Magic, and Pistons are not in the playoffs. And we'll end on this.
Okay.
Out of those 6 teams, out of those 10 teams that I listed, which team has the best chance to get back in the playoffs, even if it's like the play-in game?
Ooh, say it again. So tell me one more time.
so
out of the bottom teams, which of these teams have the best chance to at least get a play-in?
Yes. Raptors, Knicks, Pacers, Magic, Pistons in the East, and then the Kings, Spurs, Pelicans, Rockets, and Thunder in the West. So you have to give me one for each.
Okay, one for each. So I think on the East, I'd say the Raptors could make a little run. I like Van Fleet, and then is Siakam healthy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
He might be. He might be. Hold on.
I feel like Siakam's healthy. I'm gonna pick the Raptors I don't know if they will, but from your question, who I think would have a good chance to go there, I'd give it to the Raptors since they're 10-13. I mean, the Pacers lost 16 games, so like I think they're a little too far out maybe to make a solid run. It's not impossible, but I think I'd give it to the Raptors. And then on the West, the Kings are gonna win the entire Western Conference Final.
I mean,
what's gonna happen?
No,
Shouts out
they're
to
gonna
Sack.
Dude, they're gonna bring Tim Donaghy back to coach, to referee the game, and they're gonna lose again.
But no, I mean 10-14, they beat freaking the Lakers in what was it, triple overtime?
Yeah,
I refuse to even watch the highlights still.
Dude, they beat the Clippers twice.
I remember seeing that they went in overtime. Then in my head, I was like, "Oh, the Lakers won." Then, I think my dad came home and he was like, "The Lakers lost." I'm like, "What?"
Damn, dude,
losing fate. But yeah, no, the Kings are gonna make a run, and then they're gonna win the entire Western Conference Finals and lose to the Nets in the finals. Is what's gonna happen. Shouts out to Sack.
Should I put some money on that?
Hell no.
Okay, do you feel more confident about the Kings making it to the NBA Finals or Devin Booker winning MVP?
Devin Booker winning MVP. No, actually no, because he got injured. So I'm gonna say Kings going to the finals. If he didn't get injured, I would say Devin Booker MVP. But freaking Curry's balling. It's not so much of a knock on Devin Booker, but more of a nod to how well Curry's playing.
Yeah,
because I don't know who else is gonna play better than Curry this season.
It's like, gonna be really tough.
Devin Booker would have to do something like you'd make 100-point game or some shit throughout like the rest of the season. I don't know.
I mean, Devin Booker has like what, the 4th highest scoring total in a single game in NBA history.
Yeah, the 71 when he was young. But even still, I mean, if he just had one good game, I don't know if. I think this is, from what it's looking, it's gonna be a Steph Curry MVP season this season, from what it seems.
Shout out to Paul George. Paul George is gonna come back and win MVP.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Donovan Mitchell has been on. I don't know. But yeah, Curry's been good.
Durant's been really solid.
Yeah, you could never. I feel like Durant is like in one of those like LeBron years where it's like you could always like count him, you know?
Right.
Or like, who are we gonna give it? Like, we could always just give it to Durant.
Can
But,
you
like,
believe
who-
Durant only has one MVP?
That is surprising. Well, no, it's not because he went to the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of like what he. I don't know. I don't know because like he was the guy. My point was gonna be like he didn't focus on becoming MVP and just kind of like played more towards the team, but he was still like a focal point on those Warriors teams. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here the next couple of months. I'm sure when we hit like, I'm sure we'll talk about the NBA again when we hit the All-Star break. When we get closer to
Definitely.
the All-Star break, and then we can complain about how the Lakers suck and the Clippers are trash, and
Ugh.
you know,
Or it's just the Lakers are the 2 seed and the Kings are the 1 seed. Excuse me, the Kings are the 1 seed.
dude, a lot has to happen for the Kings.
A
to be
lot
the 1
really
seed.
has to happen. We'll
I
see.
think the Kings would need to go undefeated, and even then, that might not even get them the 1 seed with how Golden State or Phoenix have been playing.
Damn. But yeah, we'll see, man. But all right, guys. Thanks for listening to us talk about basketball and trying to hope that our Lakers and Clippers freaking make a run.
It's not like,
At least they're in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, at least they're in the playoffs. I mean,
At least they're in
I
the
mean, they're not,
playoffs.
at least they're not the Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Or
At least they're not on the
Detroit.
bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. Have fun watching the Christmas games.
Yeah.
This Christmas for the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Peace out.
Take care.